Kör Birgitta.
Here's the thing. You guys keep tagging me in all these foreedge painting videos. You know, the thing where you paint around the edge of the book and it becomes 10 times more magical than before. Well, I can't ignore it anymore. Well, not that I'm trying to ignore you. Anyway, I want to try this for myself.
There's especially one girl, Macy Matilda, who has made some incredible pieces, and I think I've been tagged in like all her videos. And she's really been one of the main inspirations for doing this project, so make sure to check her out on TikTok.
So, my plan is to paint on my favorite books, and I'm gonna begin small with a single book, The Hobbit, just to test out the technique, and then increase the difficulty level to 3 books put together, Lord of the Rings of course, and the final challenge is gonna be the entire Harry Potter series with 7 books put together to make one large painting. I've never really painted on anything like this before, and I can already see a lot of areas for potential problems, like what if all the pages stick together, or what if all the pages just become completely warped, or what if I'm not even able to paint on something so small because I'm used to painting on stuff like this, which is freaking huge, and the bookend is just very small. Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough. All I know is I'm super stoked to get started on this project because I've been wanting to do it ever since I found out it was a thing. So let's get down to business to defeat the In addition to the books, I've also prepared some watercolors, some washi tape or paper tape, and a couple of clamps. The first one out is The Hobbit. This edge is so small that I don't think I can paint anything that makes sense on here. But I've seen a technique to kind of widen it a bit. So if I just do this, sort of bend it so it becomes like a hidden painting kind of thing, then I also get a larger canvas. Clamping done. This foreedge is now like double the height of what it was, so nice. And of course I'm gonna go with the Hobbit hole, like what else? It's the only natural thing to do. I'm just gonna make a light pencil sketch first of the motif and then watercolor. So sketch, then paint. There we go. You can barely see it, but a nice little sketch. And I had a bit of problems with the pencil just like slipping along the pages, so I'm curious to see how that holds up with the paint. You know, I'm really not very experienced with watercolor at all. Like, I usually stick to acrylics and gouache and stuff, but the problem with those is they just lay on top of the paper. And if I use that on here, I think when you open the book, it's just gonna like crack. So we need watercolor because that really seeps into the paper, but I don't know how I'm gonna do. Because it's a very different technique in painting. Like, you have to layer differently. We just have to try. So, paint, water, a little bit of paper. And we're ready. I don't know what it is, but so far this isn't going very well. There's just something about the paper that makes it bulge, and like it feels like it sucks up the paint very weirdly, and it also bleeds out a lot, so I can't make any clean lines at all. That looks like a kid's drawing. I already knew watercolor was my strong suit, but this paper is making it so much harder. But I'm not giving up. I'm gonna finish this, no matter how it turns out. It's looking much better now, but I still think it looks a bit blurry, so I'm gonna try to use some colored pencils and make some outlines just to see if I can make it a bit more crisp. It's now dry, so let's finally take it out of the press. Okay, this needs a little run in the book press. In a normal one. Do you hear that crunching? Ooh. I just love how it looks when you open it and there's like paintings on either side. Oh, that's so cute. And when you look at it like actually scrunched up, it just looks very flat. And it actually hasn't seeped that much in on the pages, not as much as I thought it would. I still think the top and bottom looks a bit naked with all the color going on here. So I think I'm just gonna pick like the color that is on either side here and just cover the sides. Let's just fix that quick. I made sure to separate all the pages just so nothing would fold in here. Put it in the press, squeeze, squish. Nice. And now quickly fix this up. That definitely looks much better. It just looks complete now, you know? And it is so satisfying to just open and close it. I want to do this to all my books now. As you can see, the back cover took a bit of damage while being clamped in that weird position. But I think just leaving it in the book press overnight is gonna fix that. So I'm gonna put you in here. And now that was easy mode. Time to step up the difficulty with 3 books. Let's go. Lord of the Rings. I've been thinking for so long on what I want to paint here because there's too many beautiful scenes to choose from. But in the end, I've decided to paint the gate to the Mines of Moria. How could I not? It's got magic effects, it's got some spooky trees, it's got water with reflective stuff in it. Like, it's perfect. Not to mention that painting magical effects in itself is difficult, but painting magical effects with watercolors, I don't even know where to start, but all right, so let's pop these out. There. 1, 2, 3, okay. Just gotta make sure they're in the right order before I clamp them. Can you imagine like number 3 being in the middle or something? So I'm gonna clamp these a little bit differently because I'm not gonna do the like bent foreedge thing. So I have laser cut just 2 squares that I'm gonna press on either side here just to even out the pressure. Oh no, I found out the most annoying thing. Book number 2 here is just 1 millimeter shorter than book number 1 and 3. And now I can't unsee it. How did you do this? It's a book set. It's supposed to be perfect. Okay, try to ignore it, Martino. Perfectly aligned. And now clamps. There we go. Haha. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Okay, double checking. I'm just gonna go see if we have more clamps. There we go. I don't want to lift it too much, but very nice. It's ready. Nice and flat. I'm much more nervous about this set because these are some of my favorite books. Like, they deserve a perfect masterpiece on these covers. Like, just to set the bar, you know, here. Just start with the pencil sketch again and take it from there. We'll figure it out. Let's paint again. The glow effect is looking pretty nice and all the main elements are in. I just want to add a couple final details using colored pencils. All the pages have been separated, very nice. So let's put it back into the little box. Oh, I'm so happy with the glow effect. Oh man, it turned out so much better than what I thought it would be. All thanks to this guy right here, the white colored pencil. For some reason it kind of acted hydrophobic, so none of the blue paint would stick to it. It kind of just like squished out on the sides. So this really saved that effect. Having these next to each other and just being able to pick like the middle one, just taking part of that painting out, feels so weird. Also so cool. And now it's time for the final boss, Harry Potter! I kind of stole these from a family member who's a big Harry Potter fan because I considered doing it to my own books at first, but I've already covered those in a thick layer of leather, and having like this big a gap between every text block would just look weird in a painting. And also I wanted to do something nice for them as a surprise, so it's time for the big boy. So the obvious choice here is of course to paint Hogwarts. So I'm gonna paint Hogwarts. But my main concern is really that Hogwarts is, of course, a very detailed castle with so many windows and spires and tiny things, and this is quite a small canvas to fit all that in. And also, in contrast to the other two I just did, I want to focus more on lighting, which, using watercolor that I'm not very used to, is quite difficult. Painting time again! It's complete! Oh. And you know, I don't think I can give these back, to be honest. Okay, maybe. I have to though. I'm super happy with how that sunset effect came out. I mean, I was a bit skeptical right after I'd painted all the blue shadows, but I think it pulled together quite nicely in the end. Just look at the pink. This project was honestly a lot more fun and satisfying than what I imagined it to be in the beginning. I was like, painting on like paper edges, how fun can that be? But just, do you see how much cooler they look now? Like, you can literally take a painting and put it in a bookshelf without it like looking weird. Like, now it makes sense. It blends in. I want to go home and I just want to take all my books and do this to every single one. And it's just so much more satisfying to read this way when you have part of a painting on either side. I love it. And thank you so much for watching, and let me know which one of these you like the most in the comments. Also, huge thank you to our patrons for continuing to support us. You guys are awesome. And now it is time. Let's have a look at the final result.